Welcome back to Vampire the Masquerade, Shadows of New York. D'Angelo, Hope, Tamika, Agathan. I suppose that's better than nothing. But no evidence, really. Honestly, it felt as if someone had already cleaned up the most egregious stuff before I arrived. Sounds like the Anarchs. I'll definitely try and check that place again. But I feel I'd need some sort of expert to accompany me. An advanced investigator who would show me the ropes. Someone tall and handsome, maybe? Yeah, if you don't mind a diplomatic incident, I'll go with you. Any better ideas? Actually, this very note gave me one, but I will need to set it up first. I'll get back to you about that. You know these people? I've had passing contact with each of them. Part and parcel of the job, you know. I suppose. Can you help me out with this? The way I'd tackle it would be look at one person on the list every night, ask around about them, and see what they know if you do manage to meet them. If I manage to meet them. They're not particularly easy to get a hold of. Always preferred to be a little off the grid, but nowadays, they're all particularly in hiding, if not MIA or dead. Funny coincidence. It's not my job to speculate. In other words, he knows something, but is not at liberty to say. Guess I'll find out anyway, if I do meet them. And why one each night? Shouldn't I investigate every loose thread until we're satisfied? In a perfect world, you'd have all the time you needed. But this is not a perfect world. They'll try a brute force solution to the case as soon as possible. I suspect that 4 nights from now, once the celebrations of power are over, they'll ask for your findings, and that will be all. Fucked up. To be brutally honest, my focus wouldn't be on solving the murder. Instead, I'd focus on not embarrassing yourself. Fucked up. This is part of why I didn't want you to get involved. You couldn't possibly think Arturo had you involved out of the goodness of his heart. The entirety of your investigation is just for show. You were meant to be an unwitting actor. Maybe I really should just call Mia and be like, you know what? Maybe I really should just call Mia and be like, you know what? Fuck these condescending ivory tower clowns. I want to work with you. But then again, if I was with the Anarchs, they'd probably delegate even shittier tasks to me. If, and that's a really big if, they didn't think I was some kind of inside agent in the first place. Better stick to Camarilla. But if they're hellbent on stabbing me in the back at every opportunity, maybe it's time to think about how I can repay the favor. Play dirty, no matter what Quater thinks. After all, from where I'm standing now, there's no other way but up. A penny for your thoughts. I take a drag from my cigarette. I think we're going to be a bit kind of diplomatic about this, so. After the last few months of hazing, I didn't expect a random act of kindness. This kind of bullshit as well. Just how the Camarilla works, isn't it? More often than it's necessary, I'd say. But this time it's a risky play. In my experience, one simply displays some cunning, they can unexpectedly turn a situation like this to their advantage. Part of the court assumes that you're unable to surprise them in this regard, but if you do by the end of this investigation, you might as well pull yourself out of the ditch you're in. That would be a night to remember. So, where should I go first? You should go with me. As it happens, I'm only out here because I was ordered to drive Aisling to the art hole. And I guess the name of her protege. Oh, so that's who Agathon is. Or was. Nobody knows. It's a complicated thing. You'll see. I'm on the clock, so let's get a move on. Work your magic, fairy godmother. Still not done with this bit. Not while it's still bothering you. I'm leaving you behind if you don't keep up. As I already told Quater, and numerous times at that, I have no idea what happened with Agathon. Broadway Chantry, part of the Chantry of Five Boroughs, is Aisling's usual hangout place these past few nights. She's in a hurry and not willing to talk. Do you have any idea about his connection to Kindred, going by the names of Tamika, D'Angelo, and Hope? I don't. I made it a point to keep our relationship strictly professional, and never meddled in his personal affairs. Unless they influenced our work, that is, but it only happened one time. I'm having trouble reading tonight. Tonight is a hard time for reading. Ah, yes, the infamous Juno case. What should I say? Oh. About that Juno. Could that Juno case be the reason he's missing? I'm having trouble nailing Julia tonight. I seriously doubt it. For many reasons. I think the boy's lost his appetite for studying blood magic and set out to do a little soul searching. It was quite rude of him not to give me a proper warning before he departed. Still, this line of work is not particularly favored by folks with a perfect grasp of savoir-vivre. I don't know if I said that right. I do hope his research will bring him back right where he started, begging me to take him back in. The boy is talented, and I did put a lot of time into mentoring him. If he doesn't, well, que sera, sera. No skin off my back. So, you won't even entertain a possibility that he found himself in harm's way? I know an answer to that one. A researcher's mindset. She doesn't think it's worth considering the worst-case scenario seriously, and just takes things as they come. Precisely. If, for example, climate change scientists didn't operate this way, most would have put a bullet in their own head long ago. There's a cheery thought. I'd like to search the Chantry for Agathon's whereabouts. Our good sheriff already did that long ago. You'd just be wasting your time. And ours, for that matter. Didn't you say Aline was waiting for us, Quater? Give the girl 15 minutes, Aisling. A minimal support for an ongoing investigation. And besides, she has a proclivity for finding things that everyone else has overlooked. 10 minutes. And if you attempt to pass this door or that one up there, I can't guarantee you'll walk out of here alive. Thank you very much, High Regent. Just get on with it. My time here is practically up, and I found nothing of use. It seems Agathon was completely dedicated to his work. Even his personal quarters are as barren as it gets. No personal touch whatsoever. Nothing I could go by. It's all research. He seems like such a bore. Focus, Julia. What would you do if you were a warlock workaholic? Where would you leave clues to your whereabouts? What would you do if you found yourself in mortal danger and wanted Dakota to know? It's loose. Was that? Yeah. It was facing this way, huh? I approached the place where I saw this shadowy silhouette appear. It's a brick wall, and one of the bricks is loose. Waiter and Aisling are in another room right now, still discussing the party. It's not that bad. You ought to learn how to find humor in the little things. It's demeaning, Sheriff. That's all there is to it. It's time. I work the brick loose until I can grip it. Then I tug it as silently as possible, revealing a hole in the wall. Inside there's a book. I browse through it quickly. Agathan's diary. That's a bingo. Your 10 minutes are up. So are your 15 minutes. In fact, are you done here? If I could just get 5 more minutes. I still feel like I could stumble upon something here if I just look a little more. No way, Julia. Time to go. Fine. I put the brick back and take the diary with me. It did look like Agathan left it so that someone in the chantry could find it. Presumably, the High Regent. But my investigation takes priority. For now. I bid Quater and Aisling adieu and start looking for a secluded place to read the diary. This place right here should be secluded enough for me to browse through the diary in peace. I start quickly skimming the book, singling out sentences and paragraphs that look interesting, trying to get a general idea of what kind of person Agathan was. Or is, I hope. The more I read, the clearer the image of the person becomes. He's been working under the High Regent for 15 years. There's an underlying shame in the way he talks about Tremere magic. He always describes himself as too slow on the uptake, too late to learn something, too much of an amateur. He was really into tying his self-worth to his wisdom. The entries beginning in 2012 are terrifyingly regular. The handwriting is extraordinarily neat. The author's absolute dedication to his studies is palpable. If there's anything to his unlife besides work, it's his relationships with the 3 important women he holds dear. The first is his master, Aisling Sturbridge, whom he reveres for her knowledge, stoicism, and willingness to experiment. I was hoping to find some details about her secretive work here, but no dice. Looks like he was willing to risk someone finding all about his inner life, but not anything that could harm her studies. Having trouble reading. A good pupil, serving a good mentor. I'm jealous. The second is another warlock, his ex-lover Juno, whom he feels guilty about. They had a conflict in which Aisling was involved. Having to choose between the two, he chose Aisling. According to Agathan, there was never real love between him and Juno. First it was just shared interest, then a growing disconnect and ultimately guilt which made him feel responsible for her. But maybe it's just excuses. He strikes me as the kind of person who spends most of his time inside his head. Doesn't sound like someone you could have a fulfilling romance with. One day, Dakota might realize this. Anyway. Last but not least, Agathan's mortal grandmother, Sylvia. She is the light of his life and the person who took care of him after his parents died in a ritual murder. Not quite what I expected. Her family used to serve a cruel vampire in Mexico City, and it was retribution for their escape. She was the lead Tremere used to track him down, actually. He was keeping her alive long enough for a long time, but a few months ago her heart gave up. Agathon blamed his insufficient skills, the kind of man who carries the entire world on his shoulders. Left alone with Aisling, he drowned himself in work and eventually burned out. But it doesn't sound like Sylvia's death was the only event that triggered his depression spiral. There was some kind of incident back in 2019. He doesn't cite specifics. Another thing he was worried about writing down. It's all vague mentions of a person who made him fly too close to the sun. Whatever happened, it had the same effect as his grandma's death. New York stopped feeling like home, like a home to him, and it became alien, empty, grotesque. His words. I checked the first page. There's a recent photograph of him glued to the inner side of the cover. He's facing away from the camera, only showing his profile and striking a rather dramatic pose. At first, it looks kind of poserish. Poserish. Okay. Interesting word. Poserish to me. However, upon closer inspection, it seems like a goodbye photo. The final melancholic glance he throws in your direction before disappearing for good. There's also a single black feather. No idea what it means. Something's written next to the photograph with a lot of flourish. It looks like a poem. More than annoyed. Sad. More than sad. Unhappy. More than unhappy. Suffering. More than suffering. Abandoned. More than abandoned. Alone in the world. More than alone. Exiled. More than exiled. Dead. More than dead. Forgotten. The Sedative, 1917, by Marie Laurenson. Looks like he wrote it down recently. It might have resonated with his emotional state over the past few months. Most importantly, it seems to confirm his intent with his diary to me. The general idea seems to be his research will outlive him, so he doesn't even detail it. Still, he wanted some kind of tangible memory of who he was, left for posterity. But that's not all. There's still a mystery to be solved. Quite a few of the pages toward the end are missing, but it doesn't look like they were necessarily removed to redact information. They were torn off in a way that makes it clear the paper wasn't ever used. What's more, the preceding pages are empty as well. Couldn't be that. That's when it happens again. I notice a bizarre shape in my peripheral vision. I turn to catch a glimpse as fast as possible, but it's already gone. If my heart could beat faster right now, it would be jumping out of my chest. It's discomforting. I've been seeing these apparitions ever since I turned into this. The worst part is, I feel they were always there. Even as a mortal, they were there sometimes in the corner of my eye, disappearing when I tried to look directly at them, making me think it was just my mind playing tricks on me. But when you're part of the Night Clan, there are times they don't disappear. There are times they talk. There are times they try to force you to do their bidding. And worst of all, no, I don't want to think about it right now. Still, in my experience, they aren't exactly, I don't know, consciously malevolent. This one in particular was trying to help. I open the book on the first empty page and look around to make sure nobody is staring. Then, I got myself using a razor I keep in my pocket just in case. It's not a deep slice. I just want to let a droplet of vitae fall onto the page. That's when the letters appear.
Look at me. A clown! No longer confident that any of my people can be trusted, I turn to a spick. A cameraless spick at that.
Ooh, Agathan. Reserved contempt.
What are you for, boy? Laugh at me? Ridicule is all I... Come on, don't just stand there like an idiot. You want to say something, say it.
What the hell? This is the last thing I expected to happen. This diary is haunted. A series of quickly changing sentences and images composed of shadows and blood give me a window into another reality. It's not an objective view. It's like scattered remnants of emotions, similar to a half-remembered dream, full of holes, but an honest expression of one's mind. Might it be interacting with me? It's just a hypothesis, but I don't know why else it would show me Gallahan. And was that Ellis Island? This time, I don't even look in its direction. The voice makes me feel oddly confident about what I need to do. I pick up the feather that was in the diary and dip it in my vitae. Then, I write down. Contempt. Let's try contempt.
You sold out your ideas long ago, old man. You're a shithead, a coward, a bigot, a failed leader, hated by everyone serving you. Of course I have nothing but contempt for you. Good. At least some honesty. Now we can talk to each other like equals.
It doesn't feel like this is the way these events took place. It's more like a way to explore Agathan's emotional truth about the way it all unfolded. In any case, the diary is reacting to me, and some shade of the truth is better than nothing. It's a handy tool, and if I use it right, I might find some clues that could aid me in my investigation. There are a few thoughts floating around in my head, like alien entities trying to make their way out. Is that also an effect of the diary's power? Let's try.
I guess death? Is it a fear of death that drove you to contact me? Don't be ridiculous. I've been ready to die since before you even came out of your mama's womb, boy. No, I fear something worse.
So when you heard about their plot...
Yes, I wasn't afraid it would fail and leave me for final death. I would succeed.
God damn it. What are the two of you talking about? Why did you meet?
Ellis Island.
Why did you pick this place to meet anyway?
It's secluded, and something else. Something in the air here that makes all the blood magic go haywire, which is especially important.
Because of me? You're still afraid I might be part of the experiment?
No, because of that devil woman.
Blood running cold. All the scribblings disappear and another set starts taking their place. The diary conjures an image of a completely different place. I instantly get a feeling of deja vu. I process the space differently. The atmosphere is different, more familiar, homely. But this is unmistakably the Chimera Chantry I visited earlier tonight. And standing there is just the person I'd expect. Looks like that's it for my meeting with Callahan. Damn it. But what if the person he was talking about and eliciting a strong emotional reaction from was Aisling? The diary awaits my next command. Why? High Regent, why? Why? You can't be serious. These Aaron need resources, and I wouldn't be able to provide all the needed materials in a reasonable frame all by myself. It's quid pro quo, and it's not like my research isn't helping all kindred in a run. I don't feel comfortable being a part of this. At all. I always thought we were busy with science, not politics. These are the words of an science has always relied on politics, and politics on science. Not like this, High Regent. Don't marry me, Agathon. Not like this. And the moving scribbles disappear again. I hastily let another drop of blood fall on the page. What appears this time is yet another familiar face. Oh yes, Agathon, what is that you wanted to tell me? I'm a rat. He looks like a rat. You goddamn rat. I beg your pardon? The harpy vanishes. Yeah, right. As if I could ever gather courage to say this to your face. But the least I can do is try to stab you in the back. The diary ends here. I spill a little more vitae on the page. But vitae? 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 I don't know. But it no longer works. I suppose that's it. Still, no idea what happened to Agathon. Is he alive? Or is he dead? Maybe Dakota is right. I've been a glass half empty buzzkill too often. I will brace for the worst, but hope for the best. The way he left his diary for someone to carry on his work, the hints he strategically left inside it. He's got this all planned out. No doubt about it. I choose to believe I will see him again one night. Maybe I'll even compliment that jacket he has. In any case, I think it's time to pay a visit to the art hole. I know Arturo tends to leave the Elysium quite often to take in some fresh air and message people on his BlackBerry. He still has a BlackBerry? So I just wait until I see him. The tactic works. He's surprised to see me. Miss Sawinski, shouldn't you be busy with your investigation? I am, actually. Which is why I've come to see you. That's peculiar, because I'm absolutely sure I have nothing to do with this case. Aren't you barking up the wrong tree? That's what I'm here to find out. I assumed you'd want to see Amphiro. Yes, sure, I suppose it's commendable. What is it then? I have reasons to believe that in the last few months you, the High Regent, Aisling Stourbridge, and her child, Agathon, were involved in a secretive scheme. His expression changes ever so imperceptibly, but the difference is palpable to me. For the first time ever, he looks at me as a person. Up until now, I was just an amusing diversion. Now I'm something more, and he doesn't like it. What gave you this idea? I'm not at liberty to say. If you really want to know, ask the sheriff. Of course, Quater doesn't know anything. but he's the only one in court that Arturo has repeatedly failed to influence. I'll think twice before approaching him. I fail to see how this matter relates to the task at hand. I have every reason to think Baron Callahan was involved, and that he might have had grounds to fear for his life because of said scheme. He's tense now. Do I have the upper hand? Miss Sawinski, please answer the question.
The delicate matter you are speaking of has absolutely nothing to do with Baron Callahan's grim fate. It's a strictly confidential affair. It would be wise of you to stop pursuing it.
It would be wise of you to fuck off. I can't be an investigator if I'm not allowed to properly investigate.
Are their eyes? No, it's just are their eyes glowing? I can't. No, I think it's the lighting. This matter is unrelated to your work and should be treated as such. I'm 100% convinced Prince Panhard would agree. If you insist on pursuing it further, we can take it up to the prince and see if her stance differs from mine. But I think you aren't as naive as to waste her time this way, and besides, she'd certainly want you to present the basis for your discovery to the court. Could you handle it?
I have no response. God damn it. This is his revenge for invoking Quater, isn't it?
I thought so.
Is the High Regent inside?
She is, but don't worry. I'll make sure to tell her not to waste your precious time, Miss Sawinski.
So, that's how you're gonna play it, you bastard? Well, I guess you win this round. A strategic retreat is my only choice here. I don't have a full deck of cards yet, but just you wait. In a few nights. I'll take my leave then.
Yes, do that. And if I may be so blunt, focus on the investigation avenues that aren't utterly imbecilic and suicidal to pursue, miss. I bid you adieu.
I curse him under my breath as he disappears inside the art hall. Guess this avenue really is cut off for me, at least for now. 3 names left on the list. I still have some leads to go by. But for now, it's getting late. I should go to St. Patrick's and file my latest report. When I reach the cathedral, Father Leonard is already there. He's not exactly the most punctual person, so I always feel relieved to see him from afar. Time to move in and move out, before I'm noticed by Minette.
Will this be all?
I guess so. I rattled off most of it in a hurry on the way here. I'll come up with more exhaustive report tomorrow night. Busy.
Looks that way, Father. Our wayward girl has finally been recognized by her superiors.
Here we go again. Of course he had to sneak up on me. If you even heard about that, I guess that means every single kindred in the 5 borough knows.
I know you're an expert when it comes to knowing who's saying what and where, but the last time we met, you promised to share that knowledge with me.
Yeah, I was kind of lying.
That's the 9th commandment broken, Father. Shouldn't you scold her?
Don't involve me in your silly games, Minute. The way you fall for obvious lies stems from your biggest failing in communication. And that is, you only pay attention to the what that's being said and not the how. That's... Booyah, motherfucker. Suck it. Annihilated with an absolutely flawless diagnosis.
Child, don't make me regret siding with you.
I'm sorry, Father. Won't happen again. Especially if you promise to keep verbally destroying that clown.
You're in a strange mood tonight, child. Go get some sleep.
Yes, we'll continue this tomorrow.
I'm not showing up here tomorrow.
Yes, you are. Stop breaking the 9th commandment.
See you around, Julia.
He says my name in a sickly sweet way that gives me the creeps. I bow to Father Leonard and do my best to ignore Bennett and head for Dakota's place. Finally, my haven.
Hey,
Hey,
another tough night.
you don't know the half of it.
You want a drink?
She points to her neck. I manage to summon a faint smile. I'd love to, but you know we can't do this too often. Maybe tomorrow.
You want to talk then?
Yeah. Guess so, just not about work, okay? I sit down next to her.
Not about work. Got it. What's on your mind then?
The past, I guess.
Meaning?
How spotty our memories are. And how despite that, that's what we build our convictions on. Sorry. It's so banal. I'm just tired and frustrated.
Well, let's talk about something more specific then. What do you remember about the time we first met?
The time we first met?
Yeah.
Shit. Not a lot, actually. Those were gloomy, anxious days. I think I subconsciously replaced most of them with blank spaces. I remember you trying to paint your hair black.
Ouch. Don't dig up my trauma now, okay?
I remember that when we first talked, we talked about how Sue.
Don't say how Sue. It's low-key racist, I think.
Nobody ever knows what you mean by house. That's show with the asshole doctor. No, the Japanese haunted house horror film that feels like it was written by a 7-year-old with ADHD.
In the best way.
In the best way. Duh.
We were arguing which characters from the movie both of us are.
You were Kung Fu, and I ended up as Prof, which was rude.
You were dressed up like a total nerd. Not my fault. What was the deal with that suit?
I liked that suit.
Yeah, it was okay. I remember helping you out with graphic design whenever you needed it.
Funny. I remember you needing help with writing as something that tended to happen far more often. Yeah, we developed a fun shared aesthetic with similar surface concerns, and it bonded us together even before we made sure we were fully compatible deep down as human beings. Hell, I'm still not sure we are, especially now with me not being a human being anymore. But hey, at least we both agree that this boredom feels super comfy. I remember always feeling left out of your social circles. Always knocking at the door from the outside.
Oh, forget it. My social circles were full out of touch. Snobby assholes.
Yeah, but it felt weird how much they avoided me. And there was that one time with Isabella. All of a sudden, one thing Isabella said at that one party flashes in my mind with startling clarity. After midnight in that kitchen without context, she just walked up to me and... She will isolate you. She will suck you dry. And she'll move on to the next target. That's the only thing she knows.
Don't remind me of Isabella. She always resented me.
It's been so long, and it's all baseless conjecture now, but what if? What if she really did isolate me on purpose back then? Nah, the glass is half full. The past is Schrodinger's cat and all that. Better to believe in the positive version of events.
Also, I'm like seeing every now and again by the left-hand side of this picture, there's like a floaty ghost person. I don't see her right. Oh, there it is. Yeah, that's creepy.
Come to think of it, friend or foe, if you don't believe they're on your side, they will know it one way or the other. And then it's 100% certain they won't be on your side. Maybe optimism really is the way. Yeah, forget Isabella. Let's just drop this talk. I'm frustrated enough, I need a rest.
Sounds like a good idea. Off to sleep.
Yeah, gonna get ready to go back to hell tomorrow.
All right. I'll get back to work.
You're working remotely again.
Yeah, my office is going insane for so many reasons, and I'm getting cabin fever too.
Get some sun. It will be good for you.
Look who's talking. Good night, sunshine.
Good night.
I guess we're gonna rest. All right, I think that's where I'm gonna end this episode. You know, ending it on a good note. Got some Dakota stuff going on. We got some more backstory with that friendship. Uh-oh. Is Dakota not as sweet as I think she is? I swear. I always like the characters that end up being assholes. But thank you for watching. If you like this content, and please subscribe to my channel for more of it. If you like this video, please like the video. And if you haven't already, please subscribe if, as I said, you want more of this content. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being a part of this. And have a good night.
Maggots love you, but not as much as I do. Love, your malicious corpse.